Hello, loves. It is Kim the Goddess, here to bring the videos that I promised to bring you this week on relationships and society, and also homosexuality. I'm going to place that in two separate videos. The one on homosexuality will be shorter than this one, because I've already kind of spoken on the topic, but I just wanted to, make a video because Spirit is showing me people already don't need to put that information out there. So, this first video, what sparked this conversation was the Ready to Love series, but also, things that I see in society every day on social media, things that I've been through in my past, and I felt like it was something that we needed to speak on. Now, I will do a separate review of the Ready to Love series. I like to watch it several times just to make sure, just to get all of my points, you know what I mean? So, I want to watch it maybe like one or two more times just to get a synopsis on what it is specifically that I want to speak on and make sure that I touch all of those points. But hello, my loves, welcome to my channel. This is my Let's Talk series that I do. What I do is just, like I said, see things that are going on with the majority, especially if I see a lot of posts, a lot of conversations about the same thing. Then what I like to do is just get that use my own spiritual wisdom, my own life experience, and also get information directly from Spirit, and relay that information to you guys, okay? I am a shaman, I am a high priestess, and that's where I get my information from, or where I confirm the information that I'm telling you guys. So I'm not just speaking to be speaking, okay? A reliable source is what they say. So, I typed this out because there was a lot that I wanted to say, and I wanted to make sure that the words, if you notice how I speak, I try to carefully choose my words. Number one, because I want it to be understood on different levels of understanding. But also, we have a way of twisting and turning words and things to kind of make it fit our level of understanding, or fit what our agenda, or what we think or feel, when sometimes things are just the way they are, okay? So anyways, the whole point was I typed this out because I wanted to, make sure I touched on everything that I wanted to touch on. Y'all, I'm sorry, I'm adjusting myself. I'm probably gonna cut all that out. Okay, so social media has played, and not just social media, we'll get to that later in the conversation, but social media has played a major role in shaping how we think, how we act, how we make decisions, how we live, and most importantly, how we love. Not only ourselves, but each other. Unfortunately, it has influenced us to believe that we all must fit into the same mold. And anything outside of that cookie cutter frame is uncomfortable, frowned upon, ridiculed, bullied. We're bullied on our individuality and our own unique characteristics that God gave us, right? So we are not all born the same, and that's for a reason, okay? As far as society goes, we have created a society built upon rules and laws that protect us, but that are supposed to protect us. But they also hinder our individuality and our individual freedoms. Yes, there should be a uniform rule and standard of respect, and an understood concept of our unique individual purposes, and living in a harmonious, safe environment. So what that sentence just means is, yes, we should have rules in society that we all understand. We each have a purpose, we each have a role, and we also must understand that our individual acts impacts this society as a whole, and we should have a uniform or a understood concept amongst each other that we all want to live in a safe and harmonious, and harmonious environment. We want to live in harmony, okay? And we can view this on both a political and a religious viewpoint. So what we have gotten far away from is living, loving, and respecting life, period. We lost the real sense of community and unity as a human race. And we have to understand that nothing is going to change unless we change our views, our concepts, how we think, how we act, not only about ourselves, but as a whole, as a human race, okay? So let's get back on the relationship topic. There's a reason why all of that needed to come out. As far as relationships, we all, as I stated, we all do not have the same purpose, mission, or path. Not everyone comes in this life with the mission of finding a soulmate, a partner, a divine counterpart. Not everyone is meant to start a family or a bloodline. Our religious upbringing and conditioning has made us think that if we do not follow a certain path, that we somehow are not living, excuse me, y'all. We are somehow not living our purpose, or we are, excuse me, y'all. It's raining, are incomplete, okay? And this window is down, and I didn't break my keys out here. Excuse me, bless me, God, bless me, bless me. And that's another thing too. All right, so that conditioning has made us feel like if we don't follow a certain path, that we're somehow not living, or we aren't living our purpose, and we're incomplete. And we believe that getting married and having a family is the ultimate life goal and key to being happy. And we've come so obsessed with that we force situations. We place ourselves in situations that aren't for our greatest and highest good. We deal with and put up with things that aren't for our greatest and highest good because we have that concept of, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what the key to happiness is, and that's not true. That's not factual. Okay? This concept has created a false sense of purpose. That 10 of Cups that we speak of in Tarot is not the same for everyone. That 10 of Cups is not someone having the house and the family and the yard with the dog. That's not everyone's purpose, okay? So another point is that we learn from each other. We learn ourselves from our daily challenges and interactions, but from our life lessons. We must understand that people come into our lives for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. Or those are individuals, okay? And it's about discernment. That's a recurring theme that I have been preaching, because that's what Spirit has been. So, Cardinal has been I just thought about something, but I'm gonna stick to this. Dang, what was I saying? That bird just threw me off. There's something that Spirit has been teaching me, and it's discernment and detachment has been a common theme in this chapter of my life. And that's why I've been, putting that out there for you guys, not just in the YouTube Tarot community, but in life in general. We must learn to trust our intuition and use discernment when it comes to the people that comes into our lives. You're not supposed to take abuse. You're not supposed to be abused in any way, shape, or form. That is not normal. That is not a part of life at all. Okay? We must learn to accept when a person or situation is not for us and walk away from that. Okay? And it could be so serious to the point where we lose our lives because we try to force situations. We try to force people to be in our lives. We try to force people to be what we want them to be, when we have to understand what's within our power. And when I left my marriage, it was hard for me because that religious upbringing made me think, for better or for worse, Kim. And I felt like it was my purpose to put up with this. Like I signed up for this. But I had to remember that I signed up for this. Okay? And that I had to come to the understanding that God does not want me to be unhappy. This can't be what God meant by for better or for worse. Okay? I'm not going to get into the whole marriage because I plan on doing a separate video on that, okay? But we must understand that everything we face is supposed to be for our greatest and highest good. Anything or anyone that does not fall in those lines should be cut off. And as I just said, that example is when we don't cut those cords, we can drown ourselves and we can lose our lives. But if we continue to sit in those, if we continue to sit in those unhappy and unhealthy situations, we haven't really truly learned the lesson. And because we don't learn that lesson and we don't learn to move on, we begin to manifest this into other places in our lives. So we may find that we become sick. We develop depression. We develop anxiety. We harbor resentment. We harbor that anger within ourselves, and we start to miss our opportunities. We start to miss out on life. I think this is the plumber. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I moved this. I don't know what I did. Okay, perfect. Okay. Kids, y'all know how kids are in the house. Okay. Anyways, so I kicked this on accident, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. But where was I leaving off? This manifests in our lives in other places, and we find that we become sick. We may lose hair. We may slip into depression. We may become, have anxiety. And more importantly, we miss out on our opportunities and our blessings. So that for better or for worse statement does not mean that you have to take abuse. God does not want you to be abused. Okay? So the church, Bible, religion has been, in my opinion, the most powerful and influential institution in our lives. They're telling me yes, because that's where all of this comes from. It has been a key component in shaping our reality. We use that as a blueprint for our lives. It was used and formed and created to control the slaves and society as a whole. If they are able to control how you think and how you move in your everyday lives, then they can not only push their agenda, but it was a way to keep them people from stealing, people from doing all of those things. But we have to go through certain things to learn our life, to learn. You understand? If I see this person doing something bad or doing something negative, like stealing, For me, that's going to make me appreciate my blessings. For me, that's going to give me a sense of consciousness of right or wrong. That's going to give them a sense of consciousness of right and wrong, and also suffering from your consequences. We all have that positive and our negative side, and both of them are there to teach us how to overcome challenges, how to face adversity, how to choose to be good, okay. So, because this is a very deep and ongoing conversation, I don't want to spend a whole day, speaking on specific things. I'm going to break it down into different, into different videos. But the whole main point is that anything or anyone that does not empower you is not of God. It's not for your greatest and highest potential. We must learn to use our head in situations, and we must learn when to use our head, and that's something I'm going through. You must learn when to use your head and when to use your heart, and how to use a combination of both depending on the situation. We must go through our lessons. We must go through our tests. We must go through our trials. That is what shapes our character. But more importantly, we must do that inner and outer work to discover ourselves and our purpose. But as far as relationships in society goes, basically everything that I just told you guys about using our discernment and using our intuition, and the main thing is, if this is not for my greatest and highest good, then I have to cut it off. I have to separate myself from that. And whether that's a marriage, whether that's any type of relationship, don't let that whole ride or die mentality make you feel like you have to put your life in danger, or you have to put up with abuse, okay, or situations, or any of those things. I feel like that was something that was very, very much needed to be spoken on, because we become obsessed with living the American dream when it's the American dream. It is not your individual purpose. It is not your individual path. It is not God's plan for you. Okay? I love you. I hope that this helped you. Run it back as many times as you need to. I don't mind people using this and starting those spiritual conversations. Just don't steal, and all of that. I'm a heavy, heavy, heavy believer in karma. So I want you guys to stay safe. I want you to be blessed. Please stay blessed, because you are blessed. God's plan and no one else's. Because God wants the best for you. Okay? I love you. Namaste.